Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be sort of a two-parter. The first half I'm going to talk about replacing a water pump on a modern hybrid vehicle, in this case a third generation Prius. And then in the second half I'm going to do a tool review on the airlift, which is an awesome way to vacuum all the air out of your cooling system and then put coolant back in that completely eliminates the possibility for air bubbles or trapped air in any sort of high point. It's going to make it a really easy process. So let's jump in. Here's the car up in the air. I used both ramps and jack stands because I wanted to get it level for good measure, but really you wouldn't need to do this unless you're wanting to get all the coolant out, absolutely every little bit. You can see here, since as I said, this is for modern hybrid vehicles which use an electric water pump. That's the water pump down there, no belt or anything to deal with, just a single little clip, and then we'll get that off. You can see I like to print a pattern, a bolt pattern. Now this one is much larger than we need because I used this for when I did the head gasket on this engine here about 15,000 miles ago or so, which that was before I was making videos. But anyways, you can see what you can do is you can print it out and then it will show you where the bolts are that you're going to need to get out, so that then when you look here you can see the bolts. You don't need to wonder where they are, how many there are. Just use a diagram and then you can slip your ratchet and your breaker bar and stuff down in there. Now as far as getting to the pump, all I had to do is take off on this car this air intake resonator thing, which you just open the air box and then you can push the tabs, it'll pop out. And then I'm going to be actually reusing my coolant because I just put in fresh coolant maybe a year or two ago, and so there's a drain under there, and then under here there's a little, it'll be hard to see, but there's a little spigot you can turn on, which a great tip I learned from the Car Wizard, a YouTube channel I like a lot, is if you're worried about breaking the plastic radiator inlet and outlet, rather than using that little knob down there, just undo the hose clamp and take the hose off that way. But anyways, here are the parts. We've got electric water pump here. You can see it's pretty simple operation, which it came with a gasket. And then this is the thermostat. At first I thought that you could only buy the thermostat built into the housing, which it came with a gasket as well, because that's all I was seeing in the OEM AISIN brand, which I got for both of these. But you can actually take it apart, which you can see here I just press down. So it is possible to replace just the so I ordered the entire assembly. And you don't need to do this to do the water pump, of course, but I just wanted to be complete as long as I'm in here. And then as far as specialty tools go, really nothing other than just some of these angled pliers and hose clamp or hose pliers so that I can wiggle loose that hose on there on the thermostat housing. And then got some coolant and a tester. And if you're just doing this draining and then putting it back in, which the second part of the video we'll talk about the airlift down there. Of course that is a specialty tool, but that's not included in just changing your water pump. I've got the cap off the coolant reservoir and you can hear it draining out now. Just make sure that you have a bucket big enough to hold all the coolant that's coming out if you don't want to spill it on the ground. This car holds 7.3 liters, but you'll never get it all quite out. It's been 20 or 30 minutes and you can see we're at a little over 4.5 liters, so there's still some left, but that's as much as wants to come out right now. I undid a couple of the little wires on the wiring harness, those clips, and then I also undid a bolt right there for the oil stick. I undid this clamp here, and now we can go ahead and take this big hose off. Then there's also a small hose down there, you can see right here, which is going to be a real bugger to get to. So I'm going to use this tool, which I actually forgot I had, but just a cheap $30 auto parts store tool that you can use to remotely remove a hose clamp. So that should make that real easy. I perhaps spoke too soon saying you don't need any specialty tools. I ended up using one of these hose clamp offs to clamp this hose down here, the back one, since it started leaking coolant out when I took it off. And then also there's 3 studs on here, which you can see, or 2 studs and a bolt. This one and this one aren't so bad to get to, but there's one that's blind all the way in the back. So you'll need some sort of flexible ratcheting tool to be able to get back to that bolt that's way back in there. I definitely recommend, if you're doing a head gasket or an intake manifold gasket or something like that, just knock out the thermostat while you're doing those jobs, because it was a lot of work to get that guy out. But now that the thermostat's out, the water pump is just a matter of using a long ratchet flexible head on that blind bolt down there, and then the rest of them will be pretty easy. I got the old water pump out. If you weren't doing the thermostat, which you don't have to do them both at the same time, this would have been an hour job in and out and everything because of how easy that was. Just those 5 bolts out, easy. Feels a little bit tight, the old one. The new one spins a little more freely, but aside from that, it's hard to tell that there's anything wrong with it. It's not weeping or anything. These don't have weep holes the way that a mechanical pump would have. And then this guy over here, you can see it worked great to hold those bolts in there. I figure some of you are curious like me, so I decided to take the shell off the old water pump and look inside. It's got a circuit board on the top, then something over here, maybe a capacitor. Not quite sure what that is, but the bulk of it is just those big electromagnetic coils there that actually drive the inner motor section. And then this inside is completely sealed. This shaft just allows the impeller to rotate. It doesn't rotate itself. Water can go in there and cool things and lubricate as needed. Then this is the impeller here, which is on what I believe is just a permanent magnet. You can see why it failed. We've got a crack here in this plastic, and that allowed the plastic to expand. And I'm assuming what happened is that that expansion caused extra friction to where the pump couldn't maintain the proper speed it was commanding, and so then that's why it threw the code. I've got the new thermostat and water pump back in. As with taking them out, the water pump was pretty easy, just 5 bolts around there. The thermostat was a lot harder with that blind bolt in the back and then that lower stud. Just got to pop those hoses back on, fill it up, we'll be done with this. Here are some torque specs if you want to read them from All Data. Day has become night, but we are done. That was a solid 3 or 4 hours, although I did stop in between for dinner. Since this video has become a reasonable length on its own, I've decided to move the airlift refilling section to a part 2 video, which will be coming out, so don't forget to get subscribed so you don't miss that. Can highly recommend you get one of these flexible, long, ratcheting breaker bar type deals. This one's just from Harbor Freight, but it made doing this a lot easier. Water pump, very easy. Thermostat, not so fun, but hopefully you enjoyed this video and you learned something. Stay tuned, as I said, for part 2. We're going to refill the system, guarantee there's no air bubbles, talk about all that next time. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.